we embark on a journey to uncover the true tale of Goliath and his brethren. Imagine a time when the earth was home to giants, their massive figures evoking both awe and fear. We have noticed that only a small portion of our viewers have subscribed to our channel. If you enjoy our content and haven't subscribed yet, we kindly ask you to consider doing so. It's a free gesture, and you can always unsubscribe if you wish. The giants, symbols of immense power and terror, once walked among us. Picture an era when armies included these colossal beings, ordinary men gazing up at them not only with fear but also with wonder, contemplating their own significance in a world shared with such gargantuan creatures. These giants, not merely figures of folklore but integral parts of human history, left indelible marks on the annals of time. While Goliath, whose story is etched in the records of 1 Samuel 17, is the most renowned, his brothers, equally intriguing and enigmatic, remain shrouded in the mists of history. Many are unaware that Goliath was not alone. He had brothers. As we delve into the depths of time, we uncover a narrative that extends beyond Goliath, the Philistine from Gath. Goliath's armor, a testament to his might, weighed as much as a small person, and his spear was akin to a weaver's beam in seasoned weight. However, behind his physical prowess lies a lineage of giants, each with their own remarkable story, each a chapter in the chronicles of David's legendary battles. These giants, relatives of Goliath, emerge from the scriptures within the sacred text, challenging our understanding of the ancient world and its inhabitants. Were they the Nephilim, the offspring of angels and humans, as some speculate? Or were they simply men of extraordinary stature, descendants of a lineage lost to the passage of time? Join me as we embark on a journey through 2 Samuel and more Chronicles, exploring the lives and deaths of these enigmatic figures. Together we will unravel their origins, question assumptions about their identities, and unravel the sequences of their existence. The Philistines, frequently mentioned as adversaries of the Israelites in the Bible, held a long-standing enmity with them. This animosity was especially pronounced during the reign of King Saul, who encountered the Philistines on numerous occasions. Among these encounters, one of the most significant is the story of Goliath, the giant Philistine who stood as their champion. In ancient times, the role of a champion in an army was of great importance and held in high regard. These champions were not only skilled warriors, but also symbols of their army's strength and honor. Selected for their exceptional combat abilities, courage, and strategic acumen, champions represented more than mere military prowess. They embodied the spirit and determination of their people, defending their army's honor and interests. Often, they engaged in single combat to resolve disputes, determine the outcome of conflicts, or decide the fates of prisoners. This form of combat served as a strategic and symbolic gesture aimed at reducing casualties in open warfare. Goliath, as described in the biblical narrative, was one such champion for the Philistine army. His presence on the battlefield posed not only a physical threat due to his immense size and strength, but also a psychological one, symbolizing the might and resolve of the Philistines. His challenge to the Israelites and the subsequent encounter with David became a pivotal moment illustrating the significance of champions in ancient military history. Goliath hailed from the city of Gath and stood over 9 feet tall. The citizens of Gath were known as Gittites, and Goliath himself was addressed as a Gittite in 2 Samuel 21:19. His formidable presence, coupled with his experience as a warrior and his impregnable defenses, which included a heavy suit of bronze armor weighing around 125 pounds, made him an imposing figure. He also adorned himself with bronze greaves for leg protection and wielded an enormous bronze javelin. The shaft of the javelin was as heavy as a weaver's beam, and the spearhead alone weighed about 15 pounds. Adding to his defense, an armor-bearer accompanied him, carrying a large shield to deflect incoming arrows. This formidable setup presented a daunting challenge for the Israelite soldiers. The shield-bearer played a critical role in thwarting attacks aimed at Goliath. Even if an arrow managed to penetrate this first line of defense, Goliath's personal armor provided an additional layer of protection. His towering stature and fortified armor made him a terrifying opponent, heightening the sense of impossibility among the Israelite ranks. The fear among the Israelites intensified when Goliath issued a challenge in 1 Samuel 17:8. He proposed a deal. If an Israelite could defeat him, the Philistines would become their servants. However, if Goliath emerged victorious, the Israelites would serve the Philistines. This proposition, coupled with the seemingly insurmountable task of defeating Goliath, paralyzed the Israelite army with fear. It led to a 40-day period of inaction, during which even King Saul retreated in apprehension. The story took a turn with the arrival of David, a young shepherd. Despite his youth and ineligibility for military service, David was deeply offended by Goliath's disrespect towards the God of the Israelites. Motivated by his faith, David volunteered to face Goliath. Initially, Saul was skeptical due to David's youth. However, David recounted his experiences defending his sheep against predators, convincing Saul of his capability. David's confidence stemmed from his unwavering faith in God, rather than conventional military might. In the ensuing confrontation, David, armed only with a sling and a stone, stood against Goliath, who was equipped with a sword, spear, and shield. David's trust in God remained steadfast, and he proclaimed that he fought in the name of the Lord of Israel's armies. Using his sling, David struck Goliath, incapacitating him. Seizing the moment, David used Goliath's own sword to kill him. The defeat of their champion caused the Philistine army to flee in disarray, leading to their ultimate defeat by the Israelites. The narrative is documented in 2 Samuel 21:15-22 and 1 Chronicles 20:4-8. Afterward, a conflict arose at Gaza with the Philistines. During this time, Sesai the Huskilid Sipai, who was one of the children of the Giant. They were subsequently subdued. Another war ensued with the Philistines, and Elhanan, son of Jair, slew Lami, the brother of Goliath the Gittite. Lami's spear staff was comparable to a weaver's beam. Once again, there was a battle at Gath, where a man of great stature with 24 fingers and toes, 6 on each hand and foot, appeared. He was also a descendant of the giant. However, he was slain by Jonathan, the son of Shema, who was David's brother. These individuals were born to the giant in Gath and met their demise by the hand of David and his servants. In 1 Chronicles 25, it is explicitly stated that Lami was Goliath's brother, 2 Samuel 21:15-17. Furthermore, the Philistines engaged in another war with Israel. David, accompanied by his servants, went down to fight against them. David grew weak, and Ishbi-benob, one of the sons of the giant, carried a spear that weighed 300 shekels of brass. Ishbi-benob, armed with a new sword, intended to slay David. However, Abishai, son of Zerah, came to David's aid and struck down the Philistine, killing him. Following this event, David's men swore that he should no longer go out to battle to protect the light of Israel. According to the Bible, Ishbi-benob is identified as a relative of Goliath. After David's victory over Goliath, the Israelites continued to face the Philistines in battles, particularly during David's reign. Although David's encounter with Goliath does not mention his relatives, subsequent accounts reveal that his kin, including Ishbi-benob, confronted David and his men, possibly seeking revenge for Goliath's defeat. The biblical account notes that Ishbi-benob's spear weighed approximately 7 pounds, and he had a strong desire to kill David. However, divine intervention through Abishai, one of David's mighty men, led to Ishbi-benob's defeat and death. The text describes Ishbi-benob as one of Goliath's sons. Another relative of Goliath mentioned in Scripture is Saph. According to 2 Samuel 21:18, there was a battle at Gob where Cucha the Hussite killed Saph, who was also identified as a son of the giant. This encounter further highlights the ongoing conflicts between the Israelites and the Philistines, particularly involving the descendants of Goliath. The final relative of Goliath mentioned in the Bible is found in 2 Samuel 21:22. This passage describes a battle in Gath involving a giant of remarkable stature with 6 fingers on each hand and 6 toes on each foot. This unique physical trait set him apart from others. Like the previous mentioned individuals, this descendant of Goliath was defeated, this time by Jonathan, the nephew of David. According to the Bible, these 4 relatives of Goliath, who were giants, met their demise at the hands of David and his men. These accounts emphasize the ongoing conflict between the Israelites and the Philistines, highlighting significant figures involved in these historical battles. The question of whether Goliath and his brothers were Nephilim has been a topic of much debate and speculation. Some theories propose that they were part of the post-flood Nephilim. However, this interpretation may not align with the biblical text, as there is no explicit mention that Goliath and his kin were Nephilim. Biblical evidence points more towards the origin and true identity of Goliath and his brothers as being linked to the Philistines, specifically the Anakim of Gath. Goliath hailed from Gath, which was known as a stronghold of the Anakim. Therefore, it is more plausible to consider Goliath and his siblings as being from the race of giants, not Nephilim. This assertion is supported by the fact that Goliath's relatives are described as coming from Rapha of Gath, Samuel 21:16, suggesting that Goliath himself was a giant from this lineage. Furthermore, the existence of giants is not exclusive to the Philistine lineage, nor are their origins universally attributed to the union of angels and humans, as some interpretations of the Nephilim suggest. For instance, Deuteronomy 3:11 mentions Og, the king of Bashan, who was also a giant. His bedstead, made of iron, measured 9 cubits in length and 4 cubits in width. Yet Og is not identified as a Nephilim in the scriptures. Although the Bible does not categorize Goliath and his family as Nephilim, their imposing size and strength are undeniable. These extraordinary physical attributes might have led some to perceive them as similar to the Nephilim of old. However, it is important to note that such giants described in these biblical accounts are not known to exist in modern times. These references to Goliath and his relatives in the scriptures highlight the diverse and extraordinary aspects of God's creation as recorded in the Bible. Thank you to everyone who has watched this content thus far. We kindly request your support by leaving likes, as they are greatly appreciated. Please share the video, allowing others to enjoy it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We look forward to seeing you in the next video.